and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance and for the millions watching at home, DCK Productions proudly brings to you the greatest podcast in the world! The greatest podcast in the world? Suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. No, you suck it. I appreciate it if you both suck it. Suck it!
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise, we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
And welcome, everybody, to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome, Derek. How is everybody this evening? I bring to you another stellar show that I am so stoked to bring to you. I've got another great musical act out of Maryland tonight, and I have just a legendary TV personality on the show with me tonight as well. So, this has been a great week. What a great hump day. Fantastic. I just can't wait to get the show on the road here. So Derek's going to shut up and just do his intro and, bring the people on and just, go about his daily business, because you know what? Y'all don't want to hear me. Y'all want to hear them. That's why y'all are here. If y'all came to hear me, that's fantastic. Thank you. But, I know the real reason why you're here. But anyway, so my guest tonight serves as president of Quest Media. He has his own TV show called Profiles, and he has interviewed on that show Mayim Bialik, Smokey Robinson, Tony Orlando, Maya Angelou. I mean, George Foreman. The list goes on and on and on. This gentleman is just a legend in the TV business, and I'm so stoked to talk to him tonight. So please put your hands together and please welcome to the show, Mr. Mickey Burns. How are you tonight?
Derek, I'm doing great. Welcome to New York City.
Yeah, I'm not too far from you, down in Northern Virginia.
All right. Well, welcome to Staten Island, one of the 5 boroughs, and hope you're doing well down there. And it's an honor being on your show. Thanks for having me.
No, trust me, sir. It's an honor to have you on mine. When I was talking to Eileen and Jimmy last week about having you on, I was like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I? Yeah. To interview an interviewer, right, is a difficult task. But I enjoy that. So I'm all about it.
Sure. Well, Jimmy and Eileen are the king of PR, and you're the king of radio right now. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. So, you've had one heck of a career. I mean, you've just pretty much done it all. So let's start, at the beginning. Just because some people may or may not know who you are, which I'd be surprised if they didn't. So, how did you get in the entertainment business, number one? And then number two, how did you end up being an interviewer?
Yeah, that's both good questions. It's something I always wanted to do. When I was going to college, I went to college back in the day when I call it BC, Derek. You know what BC stands for? Before cable. There was a lot of opportunity. We had ABC, NBC, CBS. That was pretty much it on the dial. So for a number of years, I was a teacher, even though I majored in communications and the media. And then I started working at Channel 5 here, News in New York, about 30 years ago. And I got my foot in the door. And basically what we did there was Rupert Murdoch took over Fox back in the 80s. And the first thing he did was cut out overtime. So a lot of the guys at the station, the cameramen, the producers, they were making double their salaries. It was all in overtime. So we had to moonlight a little bit to make some money on the side for about a year. So we did a deal with Time Warner Cable to do a news magazine with the guys who were moonlighting from Fox. And it was a great, we did like 13 episodes. It was great. And after that, they kind of went back to work at Fox, and one of the things before we went back, one of the things we always did in this special news magazine was have a little entertainment segment, right? And it was like 4 minutes, and I would go. I was the reporter for the entertainment segment, go into Manhattan, and if somebody was working in a play, I would do a little interview with them backstage. And I always would come back to the studio saying to them, we can only use 4 minutes of this, but I have like a 30-minute tremendous interview with Tony Orlando or with Gladys Knight. And what a waste of 25 minutes of really a treasure of an interview. I think we should do a show called Profiles and make it a half-hour overview of their life and their career, because they seem to be very interested in it. And they said yes. Time Warner said yes. And we started to do it back in like 1999. And immediately the celebrities loved it. Time Warner loved it. We loved it. And people who watched loved it. So we knew we had a winner right out of the box. But to answer your question, now I was doing exactly what I really wanted to do. And that was Larry King live, which I did at Time Warner. I did a thing called Staten Island Live. And I was doing what I wanted to do, and I was happy as a client. I don't know if I was very good at it at the very beginning, but I thought, I had a lot of confidence because I had been waiting for years to get to this point.
Yeah. Starting as an interviewer, when I first started this show, I had no aspirations to be an interviewer. And then through a series of 3 co-host changes. Oh yeah. Through a series of 3 co-host changes, I eventually just said, you know what? Nobody's dedicated to this as much as I am. So at that point, I started reaching out to PR agencies, and I'm like, You know what? I'm going to go ahead and change the whole thing. And I had the exact same idea that you had, but I wanted to profile it in such a way to where, when you get sent to me from a PR agency, I don't ask for questionnaires. I don't want a questionnaire. I want to hear everything raw from the person. Therefore, I can ask the questions I want to ask. I can get the answers I want to get, and have a real deep conversation instead of looking off my phone or a teleprompter going, oh, so tell me about this time in 1967 when you met, so-and-so. I don't like that. And so that's kind of like where I eventually transformed it into this. So I had the same idea you had, just in a much different way.
One of the questions that people always ask me, what are some of the keys? And I always say the same thing, and that is find your personality yourself. We don't need another Dick Cavett. We don't need another Jimmy Fallon. We don't need another Jimmy Kimmel or David Letterman. The key to being a success is to be yourself and bring something to the table that hasn't been there before.
Correct. And then that's, like I said, that's exactly what it is.
That wholeheartedly.
Oh, and so do I, because I don't want to be, the next Stern or the next Fallon or the next Kimmel. I want to be the next Derek, and that's what I'm striving for. So, you are an inspiration to me. So I do appreciate you, like I said, being here tonight.
I appreciate being here.
Well, so throughout the years, you went, like I said, you were working, like you said, you were working for Fox, you were working for Time Warner. What made you create your brand?
Well, that's a good question. And I think that I did have experience coming in, and I realized I wasn't trying to be like anybody else. I was just trying to be myself. But I think the key, maybe separated me from a lot of other people that were trying to do what I do, is that I developed a style of interviewing that might have been a little bit different. And I also was always 110% prepared. You see behind me, there's a bookshelf. And 400 books of guests that I know over 20 years. If they have a book I read, if they're CD, if they have a movie or six, I research, find out what it's about. I always go into the interview prepared. And the guests realize that, sense that, and what you get in return is their respect.
Mickey, you there? You got a bad connection. You're frozen.
Oh, okay. Any way we can solve that problem?
Wait. Now you're good. You're back. Okay. All right, we're good.
Okay. Did you get my answer?
Yeah, I got most of that. Yeah, we're good. So what made you leave Time Warner and Fox, and what made you develop Quest Media? Why'd you come up with that?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Well, we were doing Special Edition News Magazine, and at the same time, we were starting to do profiles, and I was able to get a relationship with another new network, which Michael Bloomberg developed here in New York City, and it was called NYC Media, and it was brand new, and I knew some of the people on his staff and approached them because he was starting up a new TV station in New York City called NYC TV. And it was hip and it was modern and it was today. And I said, this would be a perfect vehicle for profiles. I approached their people, and after much negotiation, they acquired the show. We were one of the first shows on the network, and that was in 2003. And 500 later, in almost 20 years, we're still there. Mm-hmm. But it's a great vehicle because it channel 25 here in New York, and it reaches 20 million people in a 50-mile radius in New York City. And we've done 500 episodes on that network, and we love it there.
That's awesome. So I'm sure you get asked this question a lot. Of everybody... Oh, wait. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Of everyone that you've talked to or interviewed, who has been the most inspiring to you?
Yeah, there's been so many. Smokey Robinson comes to mind. Dr. Maya Angelou comes to mind. I want to go. I'm looking at my son, Eli. I mean, almost every interview, you leave with something that's inspiring. Sometimes it's the interview, sometimes it's during, and sometimes it's after. But you almost always leave with something you'll never forget. There was this actor, Eli Wallach. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, famous actor. After the interview, he said to me, Mickey, take a walk with me. And I said, it'd be my honor, Mr. Wallach. And we're walking up Broadway on a beautiful spring day, and he's carrying a grocery bag. I said, Mr. Wallach, what do you have in the bag? And he said, a pair of shoes, and that's where we're going. We're going to the cobbler up the street and get them fixed. And I was kidding around with him, Eric, and I said, your money, you're a million to go to make. Yeah. And they grabbed me by me in mid-stride. He looked at me, Mickey, fixed that I've never been able to shake that. So that was inspiring. But almost every interview I've had has a nugget or two of inspiration in it. And I've interviewed them all, and I've had 500 episodes.
That's awesome.
That's just one example.
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton more. With everybody that you've ever interviewed, was there ever a question that you were afraid to ask?
Yeah. There was I would say 2 or 3 times. One was with Robert Wagner, the actor, who was married to Natalie Wood twice. I had read somewhere along the line, I had read that the reason he divorced her the first time was because she was having an alleged affair with Warren Beatty. And I read somewhere that he had every intention to kill Warren Beatty over this adulterous relationship that they developed. And I had stayed out from the house for 2 nights in his car with a gun with every intention to kill him. And I asked him in the interview, is that accurate? And did you intend to kill him? And he admitted on camera that at the time, he was so mad and so angry that if Warren had was out of the house, he probably would have killed him. And I was really surprised. I asked the question. I was surprised he answered it, because at the same time they were about to reopen the case and suspicion involved. He had an interview from my question that he had intent to be violent and to possibly kill somebody. That's one example. Another time, on the lighter side of things, do you know the singer Engelbert Humperdinck?
Of course, yes.
Everyone knows him, right? The singer. All my lovin'. No. All those great songs. So I also had, in my research, found where he had said at one point that he had made love to 3,000 women. So I asked him during the interview, I didn't know if I should or not. I said, I'd read that somewhere that you made love to 3,000 women, Engelbert. Is that accurate? And he didn't hesitate. He looked me right in the eye and he said, Mickey, let me put it to you this way. Less work for my wife. And I thought that was a great answer.
That's awesome.
You never know. You never know what you're going to get. You never know. But, I've asked somebody questions that they didn't want to deal with and say, I don't want to talk about that. Let's move on. And I learned early on, you have 2 choices. You can badger them into trying to get the answer out of them, which sometimes can ruin the interview and make them totally withdrawn from what you're trying to do, or smile and move on to the next question. Most of the time, I smile and move on to the next question.
Do you ever regret doing that?
For me. No.
No, you don't ever regret it? Okay.
Because I think there's enough reporters and interviewers out there whose main goal during the interview as they can on the subject they're interviewing. I try to get as much substance out of the person I'm interviewing. And if I don't get the dirt, that's fine with me. I prefer the substance. My viewers like it as well, because they can get the dirt on any number of channels, right? Mm-hmm. You can go to any 25 different channels and get the dirt. But substance is hard to find these days.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Because a lot of them, a lot of times, I've noticed as an interviewer, regardless of the question that I ask.
And you probably get out of my guess because of my demeanor. And I have one of my goals in my style is to build trust with my person I'm interviewing. And this is done in a number of ways, but I do my best to create that trust. And once they feel that, they'll give you a lot more than they'll give most interviewers.
Yeah. And what I've noticed,
you're not there to hurt them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you on that. And one thing that I've noticed too is sometimes, regardless of the questions that you ask, they're going to give the story that they want to tell. So they're going to morph your question into something that they wanted you to say, and they'll answer a question that you didn't even answer. You didn't even ask. Let me say it like that. And they'll try to tell you that same story, no matter what you're trying to say. So sometimes you're going to have to steer that conversation to a different way.
All right. Can you repeat that question, Derek?
Okay. right, can you hear me now?
I missed that.
No, that's fine. What I was saying was,
Yes.
sometimes when we're asking a question, the person that we're asking that question to will still give that same canned answer that they give to everybody, and they'll kind of like steer that question away from what the original premise of the question was, and still give that same answer and try to tell the same story without answering the question and actually answer a question that was never asked. So when somebody kind of goes off topic, how do you, what is your style to say, okay, we're going to stick to this question. I don't care what you're trying to say here. This is what I want you to answer. How do you steer it back in your direction?
Well, yes, it's not easy to do sometimes because you have to let them, you have to ask the question a second time sometimes, because a lot of times they go off on a tangent and they forget the original question. So if you're alert enough, you go back and you say, I appreciate that response, but this is the question to that, and have to reiterate and go back to that question. And then usually they say, which they don't realize it sometimes, that they're off on a tangent. They're like a jet plane sometimes, and they have multiple thoughts, but you didn't get into the question. So you have to decide in the heat of the interview, do I want to go back and get that answer, or do I want to move on and keep the interview flowing? It's depends how important that question was in the context of the interview.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that answer. Was there anybody that you were too starstruck?
Every case is different. Every interview is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right on that. And I'm learning that myself. Has there ever been somebody that you were too...
Wanted to interject. You can't always control everything. As an interview, sometimes you got to go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Roberts on the show. That's Julia Roberts' brother, and he was very laid back, very thought provoking. That's not the way I wanted a different kind of rhythm in the interview. And then I realized this interview is pretty good, and I shouldn't force the tempo on Eric Roberts, because it's okay. I can't control the interview. It's not always going to be the way I want it to be. Right? But I have to do good enough to adjust and flow with the person I'm interviewing, because I'm not always going to get exactly what I want.
Yeah.
I still got to make it compelling.
Oh, absolutely. 2.5 weeks ago, I was interviewing world famous publicist Howard Bloom, and that man can just talk. So I pretty much just asked like 3 questions, and
he's yeah.
So and he's had a hell of a life. Yeah. So I just let him take course with the interview. He just basically told his story, and I asked a question here and there, but it was pretty much his interview, and I let him just kind of run the gambit on it. So yeah, I learned that as well. Sometimes you just kind of have to go with the flow and allow things to happen.
I know what you were going to say about Howard Bloom. Remember Ben Vereen, the Broadway actor?
Yeah.
I think I lost you again.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I think we lost our connection. How we doing, Derek? We good?
I'm good. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Let me tell you. So I know what you went through. Howard Bloom is a storyteller. I can. Howard Bloom is a storyteller, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had Ben Vereen on my show many years ago, and I asked him one question, and he went on for 20 minutes telling me about his life without giving me a chance to interject other questions. So as an interviewer, that doesn't necessarily make for a compelling interview. It's a good interview is give and take. It's got to be a give and take scenario to make it work. So sometimes they want to tell their stories, but they don't excuse me, they don't let the interviewer back in.
Yeah.
And that's not a good interview.
I get that. That makes sense. Which is why another reason why I wanted to interview you, and because I wanted to pick your brain, because I'm like I said, I'm still learning the game. So
Well,
these are things. Yeah, these are things that I like. These are things that I want to know. Whether it's compelling to the audience right now, I could care less. I just want to know for my own personal benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a learning process there.
Was there anyone ever that you were starstruck by that you had a problem interviewing?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We have a bad connection. The satellite isn't working well.
All right, can you hear me?
Good. Okay.
There we go. Okay.
You were asking another question? Yes.
Yes. So I asked you whether or not there was ever a somebody that you were too starstruck by to interview properly.
Yeah. I mean, never. I never felt I could complete a solid interview. But struck sometimes with the intellectuals, you have that Wayne's World feeling, like am I worthy kind of thing. I like when I had Dr. Maya Angelou on the show, when I had Deepak Chopra on the show. These people are intellectuals. So in order to make it work, you have to be very prepared, and you have to have the confidence to believe that you belong. And hopefully they'll make you feel that way. And in both of my cases, they did. But you better be prepared, because you don't want to embarrass yourself with people of that caliber.
That makes sense. What is the? I mean that. Yeah. I mean that is a. That actually, yeah, that kind of hits home a little bit. So, what is the one piece of advice you would? What would be that one piece of advice that you would say to any new interviewer that you are basically giving a course to?
Yeah. Well, that's a very good question, Derek. The first thing, as I said at the top before, develop style. You don't copy. Learn from other interviewers that you respect, but don't copy them. Develop your own style. Be unique. That's the most important thing. The second most important thing is never, and it's almost like a cliche, but it's so true. Never take no for an answer. Because in the course of your journey to achieve what you want to achieve, whether it be the next Howard Stern or the next Jimmy Fallon, whatever your goal is, you might get 99 during the course of your journey, and most likely you will. But as many of my guests have said during the interviews, all you need is one yes to achieve your dream and make your dream come true. So develop a unique style. It's just you, and never take no for an answer, because if you stick with it, sooner or later somebody's going to say yes, and you'll be where you want to be.
That is strong words of advice.
That's my answer.
And I appreciate you giving it.
Yeah, a lot of people, they bail out way before I mean rejection. With each reject, keep striving to improve, get good advice, right? Don't listen to your uncle or your aunt, because they're going to tell you, oh, you're great. You want to find a mentor who you like, who's in the that will give you of where you are and what you need to do to improve so that you can maybe achieve that big dream. So those are three pieces of advice. Get a good mentor that you respect and that knows what he's talking about. Not a relative.
Yeah, definitely not a relative. I don't think I would trust anyone in my family anyway.
Well, they have a tendency to try to encourage you and pat you on the back, which is also important. But you know, you need a mentor who knows exactly what they're talking about.
I'll see. My family would just discourage me and tell me that I suck.
But that's not true. So
yeah, no.
You know, you've got to build some self-confidence as well.
Oh yeah, and that's something that just comes with time and experience. Is that self-confidence? Are you there?
Yes.
All right. Just want to make sure you're still there.
There we go.
All right, good. Okay, good. All right, cool.
I'm
Mickey,
still here.
Okay, good. All right. So what are your plans? What do you got going on in the future in the next couple months, especially with the pandemic going on?
Well, that's also a good question because we can't wait to get back into the studio and start doing new episodes because we've been out now for 2 months. So right now we are planning on in August to start doing our interviews again, which will be great because we've been doing it for 20 years. Over 20 years. We would slowly dissipate. We hope and do what we do and continue doing so. Because we just reached 500 episodes and now we want to go to we were there.
500 episodes is definitely a milestone. I hope to get, yeah. 500 episodes. That is a milestone that I hope to reach one day.
Yeah, that is, and it's live. You know, it's on TV. Well, yeah, we never, when we started out, we didn't think we'd ever reach 500 episodes. You know, you're trying to get the first 13 in the can.
Yeah.
500, we didn't even fathom that.
Yeah. I'm at like 75, 80, something like that.
500 celebrities. Yeah. Right. But it was a passion for us. Continues to be a passion. If it wasn't, we wouldn't continue to do it. We love doing what we do. Oh,
and as do I. I mean, I look forward to talking to my guests every night. I look forward to, these conversations, but 5 nights a week that I do this. And it is just every night is something new. Every night is something more exciting. And it just is something that I just enjoy beyond anything else.
And that's the way you have to feel. If you don't have enthusiasm, it will show.
Oh, you are totally right on that.
There I am.
There you are. I just want to say again, thank you very much for joining me this evening. Everything that you've said, I'm going to take. Everything you've said, I'm going to take. I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to do a lot more studying of your work, because again, you just inspire me to be even better. There's some other things, obviously, like I said, I'm still learning. So, you are one of those ones that really just inspires me. And I like to, like I said, when I had the opportunity to interview, I was all over it. So I definitely take this time to, appreciate that. And the things that you've taught me tonight, I'm definitely going to use in the future.
And may I mention my book real quick?
Please go right ahead.
The book which is basically an overview of my overview of 20 years in the broadcast, doing this show for 20 years. And it's called, let me say, From the Projects. Look, that's good. From the Projects to Profile. And I give a lot of tips in there, what I've learned for 20 years. 20 years. And I hope it would be broadcasting industry. And you can, Amazon, you can get it on Barnes & Noble, Walmart, even Target. It's called From the Projects to Profiles, a memoir by Mickey Burns. And I think you would enjoy reading it. I think your viewers would enjoy reading it as well.
Absolutely. And I'll put that link for Amazon in the description of the video, and then the link for my podcast as well.
Well, I want to Derek on your show, and I want to wish continued success as well.
I appreciate that. And like I said, I'm definitely going to take the things that you said tonight and take them to heart, and definitely learn from example on you.
Right.
Did I lose you again?
Oh, I got it. I just say I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I just want to say thank you again, and I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm gonna definitely take everything you said and continue to study the best and the greats, and you're definitely in that conversation, so I appreciate that.
All right, Derek. Well, you continued success, and once again, I appreciate being on your show.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Good night, Derek.
Good night. All right. Sorry about the bad connection on that one. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Guys, ever wonder how I get this manly beard looking so good? It's all because of Viking Revolution. And at Viking Revolution, not only can you get some great beard balms, but you can also get some great beard oils, as well as some awesome quick shower pads, which helps prevent you stanking up after the gym. Also, these great wet wipes, which help prevent, stanky after going doo-doo. And also some pomades and some other great products, all at Viking Revolution. So do yourself a favor, go to dckproductions.com/sponsors, click on the banner, and get yourself some of these great products. Viking Revolution. Join the revolution. Guys, have you ever wondered how you can help support the channel and also look fucking cool in the process? Go to the link down below, www.dckproductions.com/shop, to get the awesomest merch on the market today. Whether you just want to get one of our plain logos in one of our many different colors, or if you want to get one of our cool graphic tees that just are funny as hell, the choice is yours. But definitely pick up your choice of any one of these shirts in any color, any size, any style that you choose at www.dckproductions.com/shop. patreon.com/shop or click the link in the bio. Thank you, guys. And we're back. So that was a good interview with Mickey. Sorry about his connection issues. Sometimes that cannot be avoided. No big deal. I think we got pretty much the gist of what he was trying to say. And the gist of what he was trying to say is, like he said, be yourself. And I think that goes for pretty much anything, whether it's, in the entertainment business or, at your everyday J job. Being yourself is something that is going to make you successful. Not being an ass kisser, not being the best worker, just being yourself. Whatever that is always going to be your biggest success. Because if you're always just yourself, then you have nobody to blame but yourself. If that makes any sense. You could say, well, I succumbed to the corporate needs and I succumbed to the corporate way of life and I still didn't get what I wanted. Well, that's because that's not you. But if you wanted to, say you earned it or say you got it and didn't want it, that's when it's on you. All right. And trust me, like I said, I'm going to definitely take everything he said to heart, and I'm all over that shit. All right. So we got about 15 minutes before I bring my band on for the night in local Maryland band, Kings of the Wild Things. So before I bring them on, I have got a couple things to get off my chest. So, how do I put this? So, there are a handful of people in the world today that are advocating for rights. But a lot of them are advocating for, rights for the people that they feel are oppressed, the people that they feel are oppressed, whether it be women, whether it be blacks, whether it be LGBTQ, whatever the case might be. And there's one thing that you don't hear a lot about that I need to bring to the forefront. And what I'm talking about is this. And you're going to say, oh, this is misogynistic or whatever the case might be. Just hear me out. And that's men's/fathers' rights. So let me go ahead and tell you where I'm coming from on this. And I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. And we can continue the conversation with this later. And this has nothing to do with anybody but, but these specific, this specific group. It's not trying to take away from anything else. So 4.5 years ago, when Me Too first started, it was designed to be a way for people to speak out. And a lot of women came up forward, and that is fantastic. A lot of men, got their comeuppance and, they got what they deserved. But there was also a handful of guys that came out and spoke up too, that went unnoticed and got kind of swallowed up and not really much going on. Terry Crews being an example, and there was a few others as well. But the whole idea was, for everyone to come forward and say, hey, it's, me too, not just her too. And it ended up being a her too movement. And then, it kind of spun off to be him too. And then that got out of control and got lost in the shuffle. But then at the same time, one of the things that, with that being said too, is the fact that him too, or, Me Too, was also about people just being taken advantage of in general. And that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. And the fact that, yes, there's a lot of mistreatment of women still. There's a lot of mistreatment of a lot of different groups. But one of the biggest mistreatments that goes unnoticed is fathers. In the majority of states, it's still automatically the mother that gets custody, regardless of how much the father earns, regardless of how much, regardless of what the father can provide or whatever the case might be. It's automatically the father, and then the mother, and then the father has to fight for any type of rights and prove he's just. And that is a burden upon everybody. One of the things that I've seen far too often is women that, and again, this isn't against nobody. This is specifically again in favor of advocating for parental rights. Here's the thing. We go to court. They give the woman the custody. Sometimes that woman goes back home to live with her parents, then goes on food stamps. I'm not saying everyone, please don't jump on me here. I'm saying it is sometimes. Goes on food stamps, goes live with the mother. Lives with her parents. Doesn't work because the child, needs that care. It says I can't afford it, even though the father's paying $1,200, $1,300, $1,500 a month while she's living for free with her parents. And I'm in that situation, and I've fought and advocated, and no matter what I've done, it's always come back to bite me in the ass. And I'm sick and tired of it. We should live in a country to where not only the mother gets those fair rights, which they should, absolutely. A daughter or son needs their mother, but they also need their father. And I'm seeing more and more, again, sometimes men being taken advantage of in these situations. And there's got to be a line in the sand. And I'm hoping to draw that line in the sand because, I haven't seen my middle daughter in 3.5 years because my ex won't let her come up here, which she has every right to do because we have been able to go back to court to adjust the custody agreement. And the custody agreement says I have her on Sundays or weekends, whatever, within 50 miles of my home, within 50 miles of her home. I live in Virginia now, 850 miles away from there. So I'm 800 miles out of that, so she has every right to. But I can't afford to take her back to court to get that fixed. So she's legally allowed to not let her see me. And that's fucked up. Say, oh, get a lawyer. Okay. With what money? I'm paying X amount of dollars a month in child support. That is outrageous. I've told people what I pay for one child, and they laugh at me and say, I pay that for 3. There's just too much injustice in this world that we pay a lot of attention to the injustices in this world. But it's time that we start paying attention to all of it. A lot of times things go ignored. And unfortunately, this is one of those times. This is one of those things that's being ignored. And it's not cool in any which way, shape, or form. There's a lot of good dads out there that are just being completely screwed over. And it's not right in any which way, shape, or form. So we need to open our eyes not only to just, women's rights and LGBTQ rights and the Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff that we're paying attention to. But the one that people don't want to talk about is fathers' rights because they say it's misogynistic or it's, oh, well, what about women? We've been treated like shit for years. Yeah, well, so have fathers. When it comes to divorce, the father usually gets the short end of the stick. and it's time for change. That's it. I could go longer on this, but I don't want to get angry. I don't want to yell. I'm still getting over strep throat. So you know what? I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm sick and tired of that, of everyone else talking about all the other things that they see, but they don't talk about the things that they do see, but they don't want to talk about it. And that's pretty much it. So before we bring on tonight's band, and I know that I stuttered a lot, and I know I didn't kind of get my point across the way I wanted it to, but I was trying to be extremely PC the way I said it, because I didn't want to be accusatory against anybody, because it's not always the mother's fault, and it's not always it's the law in some cases. So that's what I was trying to, there's more than just the mother and father involved in this. There's sometimes the law and the state and the judge, and there's a lot more to it than that. So I want to make sure that I wasn't pointing the finger at any one particular party in what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that fathers need a better rap. There's too many fathers that have gotten a shitty sentence for no fucking reason. All right. So tonight's band, before we get to them, so last night we had country music star, national act Kimberly Dawn on. And I'll go ahead and read off these acts here if I can find them. There we go. All right. So Jason will be on next week, I believe it is. Hold on a second. Let me pull up the sheet here. All right. So August 4th, which is this coming Tuesday, Jason, nationally signed rap artist, will be on. And then next Thursday, we will have nationally signed artist Josh Gallagher on. August 12th, we have Unchained. August 13th, we have Words for Hands. August 19th, we have Eben Nova. August 20th, we've got Once Revealed. August 25th is Michael Waski and the Underground Weathermen. August 26th is Pillbox, and August 27th is the Foglings. So tomorrow we were supposed to have Impulses out of Florida. However, they all came down with COVID. So unfortunately, they will not be performing tomorrow, but we will be getting them rescheduled. The band that plays my intro, Flying Jacob, has not been scheduled yet, but we will get them scheduled soon. We're working out some technical difficulties with that. And I've also got two other bands in the mix that I have not given dates yet to, that I haven't announced yet. So there's still a lot more to come. And keep your eyes out. So tomorrow night is there won't be a performance, unfortunately. Like I said, unfortunately, Impulses came out with COVID, so they will not be performing tomorrow night. But we will get them rescheduled. And but next we got two performances, and then the following we got two more, and then it's pretty much booked the rest of the month of August. It's going to be pretty cool. And then I believe we're talking next Friday for the band Trenched to put on a big, huge live performance from Vegas next Friday. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Please stay tuned. Check us out. It's only going to get better from here. So please make sure you subscribe, like, and share all of the good stuff to make sure that you're in tune with everything that's going down. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So apparently there was a little bit of a miscommunication. Everyone that's joined this stream to watch Kings of the Wild Things, I need you to go to YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the bio that I want you to go to, and that's where you go to watch the show. This is for the streaming platform only and not for the actual show. So I do apologize for the miscommunication. So I'm going to put a link in the all right, so please go ahead and click on the link and go there as I'm going to click you out of the studio.
Hey, I feel so bad about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is your fault.
I'm so sorry. Dude, we're texting all our people right now. We all grabbed our phones, went to get our phones. That's all my fault, dude. I'm sorry.
It happens. Don't worry about it.
Dude,
that's why I put
that.
Yeah.
How you doing tonight, Derek? That's
doing well.
I sent that to all the bandmates and stuff. That's totally my bad.
Yeah, so the link that's in the chat, the private chat, have them go there.
It should say YouTube. I sent that. I just sent it to you. Oh. Sorry, Derek. That's totally my fault.
Yeah, this is the other place.
Yeah, no, I get that. Get it now. My fault. Oh. I sent it to you. You just got to copy and paste it. All right, guys. So everyone that's there. Hi, guys. We're Kings of the Wild Things. We're from Towson, Maryland. While they resend out the links, I messed up. That was totally my fault. Yeah, no, that was totally my bad, guys. Thank you to Derek and the podcast for doing this and setting this up. This is super awesome, especially with COVID right now. All the bands being able to get in and play shows through podcasts like this and get a bunch of people to see us, and we can help with the podcast get more viewers. And, it's just great because some bands right now are releasing music and we can promote it through stuff like this. So everyone, be sure to give them a follow on Instagram and Facebook and like it and stuff so that
I'd probably give them a follow.
Continue doing this. Yeah, I'd give them a follow if I were you. I gave them a follow, and I'm going to follow them with my personal account afterwards, too.
You're a bunch of phonies if you don't follow back.
All right,
it's true.
All right, so we are Kings of Wild Things again. We're from Towson, Maryland. We just released a new record. It's called I Never Liked These Curtains. So we're going to play a couple songs off that record. We're going to play some stuff off our other singles and records and stuff, and we're going to have some fun tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we're just going to give people a minute or two to get to the YouTube site because I made a big mistake. So.
All right, yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh my Lord. Thank you, Derek.
You're good.
Sorry about Lexi.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, so again, we're Kings of the Wild Things, and from Towson, Maryland. Hope you guys enjoy. We good to go?
Yeah, you guys are good to go. I'm leaving right now, and y'all, it's on you.
Thank you so much. Yes, he did. So it's like heaven, feels like hell. Everyone is on we know how it feels done. Until the final end, that's like we don't care. So I bring us back to the looking top. Roll the dice, let's be ready to go. Gotta hold on something. Now we don't have. Oh, perfect nights that I found him. So I must stay through the real things and thousand miles away. I know when I can't remember you. So tonight that I found him. So I must stay through the real things and thousand miles away. I know when I can't All right, so again, we're Kings of the Wild Things in case you just logging in now. And thank you again to the podcast and to the whole crew who does this. It's absolutely awesome, especially for bands like us who just want some places to play during COVID. So I'm going to introduce the band real quick. I'm Oscar Sobkowitz. On bass, it's his first show tonight. This is Alex. Yeah. Give it up for Alex, everybody. And on lead guitar. It's his first show with us as well. This is Peter. He's super cool. And on drums, as always, we have King Tom. So, yep, that's King Tom.
King Tom tonight.
He's super awesome. So this next song is off our new record. It's called Textbooks, and hope you guys enjoy. Didn't have a chance of life, no history, that's okay, it's actually possible. Never want the other back, you really promised to make you home. Didn't have a chance of life, no history, that's okay, it's actually possible. Never want the other way. Hey guys, so for anyone that I incorrectly sent the link to one more time, that was totally my fault. Please go to YouTube to watch this. That was my fault. I sent you the wrong link, and that is totally my fault. So again, that was Textbooks. That's off our new record. I Never Liked These Curtains. Again, give it up for Alex and Peter, playing this first show with us during COVID online.
We're pretty great.
And where are those new songs available?
Those new songs are available on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere else you can stream music.
LimeWire, for those illegal folks.
It's pretty much available.
I don't know if that's still a
everywhere.
thing, but if it is, you can get it there.
It's even available on Napster, which is still a thing.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
You don't know what Napster is. Okay. Well, this next one's called Graves. It's off our original live EP. Here you go. Jet black jeans, first kiss by the coffee. Now she is the queen. Hit the first base, now she's running. Going to second, didn't see it coming. Moving the basket, taking it. Going to the bedroom. I said, let's go. I don't need how she gets us out. Little feeling from trying to play you down. So I don't want to have to. That's just kidding, the break like baby. When you stop there, see what the top anyway. Just love yourself, so I don't want to have to. That's just kidding, like I told you. When you stop there, see what the top anyway. Boy, days ago, it's time to run. This is how we had our fun. Just let yourself, so no one has to. That's just in the place I tell you. Make it stop and see the top and wait. Just let yourself, so no one has to. That's just in the place I tell you. Make it stop and see the top and wait. Just love yourself, so no one has to. That's just in the place I tell you. Stop and see the top and wait. Now, so no one has to. That's just in the place I tell you. Stop and see the top and wait. Take these secrets to the grave. Take these secrets to the grave. So, this comes to the part of the show where I take a drink of water. And
I'm all about that hydration as well.
if you're not watching on your phone and you don't currently follow us on Spotify, iTunes, or Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff, you should go check us out there. It's Kings of the Wild Things Band. We're the only one that comes up if you search that, because we're the only one with that band name. So if you like us and you like what we're doing, and if you just like one of us, then you should go check us out online. And of course, check out the Second Podcast Instagram, like them on YouTube, follow them on YouTube, do all of that fun stuff, because every like helps people like us. Thank you guys so much. And this next one's called Ghost of You. We released this as a single a few months ago.
No, if you don't ghost of you.
Cause now I'm seeing the ghost of you, who I'm thinking about are you, that time we spent together wasn't meant to be forever. Toss them around your neck, tell the story. I can't forget about the buzzing in my chest with my heart. She being said, oh, you voice. My ears are ringing loud for all to hear, and I don't know how the hell you're brought up here. But my cause now I'm getting close to you, I'm thinking about are you, God. Time spent together was it meant to be forever. Now I'm getting close to you, I'm thinking about are you, God. Time spent together was meant to be forever. We're going underneath this world of asshole. Only have each other for the peace signs. Till the stopping goes without this struggle. Who is my mind and you're searching in the bell? I'm always out when you think in my head. You're driving around at the bottom of this bottle. Oh, find the reason that you have to be. Leave behind, cause now I'm feeling close to you, boy. Thinking about how you move on. Time to stay together. Forever now, I'm feeling close to you, I'm thinking about how you move on. Time to stay together. It makes me feel forever. who I'm thinking about are you who got time to spend together. But now I'm thinking close to you who I'm thinking about are you who got time to spend together. Till back to people. Of you. Yeah.
See how that goes.
Yeah. Woo! All right. It's really hot here. The AC in my house is broken right now. It is.
I'll warm up though.
It is boiling here.
I enjoy it.
You know.
I enjoy it. Okay.
Stay hydrated. It's helpful. This next one's called Great Unknown. It's my favorite. I know it's King Tom's favorite. It's probably not Alex's favorite, but that's okay.
I just want to sing along.
Who cares what Alex
It's
thinks?
like, clap my hands.
I care, but yeah. Whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, oh, Tonight, we're gonna take that chance away. Just the same thing, man. Where are we running to now? 1, 2, let it go. We're running fast to the great unknown. Spinning back on, no, give it to the far tonight. We're only aiming for the stars. Give it to the stars. Give it to the far tonight. We're running away on this mission. One bucket of gasoline. Can you feel the pulsing in my chest? Never wanted to run away before. Never felt this drive. Now I want more. Feel we escape from this now. 1, 2, ready, go! We're running fast to the great unknown. Turning back on the road. Give it to the stars tonight. We're only aiming for the stars. We're lasting on the boys. Give it to the stars tonight. It is hot. Well, I hope you're all having a great day and staying safe and stuff, you know, from COVID and just staying nice and healthy in there. And
That's real nice of you, Oscar.
not
Sure they
you,
appreciate
not
it.
you, you and your cutoff T-shirt.
Yeah. What would I? Who gave me this thing?
Oh, yeah, I do. 9:24.
So it is 9:24. We probably have time for 2 more. So we will play 2 more. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes, good count.
Is that okay with you guys?
I'm not playing one more, Oscar.
Nope, we're playing.
I'm not playing one more, Oscar.
Yeah, put that away. This is a family-friendly show. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
This one's for our friends in Pittsburgh.
This is not a family fucking friendly show. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, fuck.
It is for us, Derek.
Fuck everybody.
It is family-friendly for us, Derek.
Not on my fucking show, no.
Thank you, Derek. We're going to do 2 more. This one's called Over It, and it's for our friends in Pittsburgh.
Go.
Let's trip back to the beginning. I was living a normal life. On a big friend, glasses and on the board. Maybe to try that just so I can find so much life. And I'm living underneath the sun. And I'm still all my time trying to find you standing in my life. Got no there. I know where all the rain goes. Roll around the sunshine of it. Over there, just feeling well. Like a teenage person living in. It's unfamiliar ground. Trying to follow my dreams. Still just come crashing down. When I've been between right and wrong, I've been. When all I can, what's happening in my life is total bad. When I try to find out what's inside you, I'll back to social worst test. Back over there, back over all the rain goes, over all the sunshine out there. If it's over there, just can't stand the way I feel. What's I'm doing again? Something is up. I'm over there. All right. So, if you give us 2 seconds, he popped a string, so we are going to change guitars.
We're giving you our all.
I'm going to talk to you all about. Subscribing to these great channels because it helps us all out. Every view that you guys give us gives us more of a chance to be discovered by other people like you, who will then in turn help other people find us. And while he's still finding a string and tuning that guitar for this last song,
I think you should dance for him.
I'm going to tell you a fun story about each of these guys. So, first we'll start off with Alex. Alex is new to the band and new to playing bass. Fun fact about Alex is he has a tattoo of Jimi Hendrix on his back.
There he is. Here, come on.
That's a fun fact about
Show the
Alex.
crowd, Oscar.
They don't need to see. It's okay.
Well, I'm trying to turn them on.
No.
Hey, well, speaking of Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah,
Speaking of Jimi Hendrix, what, Derek?
on Friday, I have a director coming on that's actually making a movie, a biopic about Jimi Hendrix.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, does that mean, can I be a part?
No one needs more.
You can watch on YouTube like everybody else.
Yeah, no, we will definitely be tuning in. Like everyone else should to watch this.
Way to ruin my hopes and dreams.
Hey, no problem. Anything I can do to make your life better, you just let me know, okay?
All right, yeah.
Derek, you gotta run the podcast, make sure I
Bring Jim Morrison back from the dead. Make him befriend me. And we can go from there.
All right. So it seems that we're just going to do a three-piece for this song. Everyone, thank you again to Peter for filling in today and playing with us and coming to play with us because he actually started practicing with us today and he's now our lead guitarist, so that's super cool. All right, so this one's called Freak Show. It's our last song. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stick around to watch the rest of the podcast afterwards. Afterwards of this, follow us on social media and check out their social media as well. Thank you guys so much. Darling, is there something you want me to pay? Like a lion you see on TV. Be a show and kick some ass. Don't know how I let the past, but I'll always be a circus freak. I'm just a part of a picture. Don't people think they don't wanna say, but I'm just a part of a picture. I'm gonna want to let them know it. I'll always be a circus freak. I'm just a nerdy math class. In the gym, I always take a laugh. Don't hit me, make sure I have a complaint. I'm baby now while you're talking me. So sorry if it's a little liquor. I'll always be a circus freak. I'm just a part of the picture. When I go, no one will ever know it. Some people think they don't wanna say, but I'm just a part of the picture. When I go, no one will ever know it. I'll always be a circus freak. I'm just a nerdy. Tattoos. I'm tired of not doing it. I wanna answer the world again. But someone beside me dancing. That'll always be a circus freak. Gonna go on and over. Some people think they don't wanna say. I'm just a part of the picture. When I go, no one will ever know it. I'll always be a circus freak. Thank you guys so much for Kings of the Wild. Thank you for Baltimore, Maryland. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Derek.
Man, you guys kicked some ass tonight.
Thank you so much. So did you.
Hey.
I'm sorry about the YouTube thing again. That was totally my fault.
Don't worry about it. You're all good.
We really appreciate it, dude.
Hey, no, it was my pleasure to have you guys on and my pleasure to share your music with my audience, and I appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it,
do it
dude.
again soon, honestly.
Hopefully we can help you out and get you some more followers as well. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Thank you guys, and I will definitely have you guys back on the show.
Thank you, my dude. Stay safe, my man.
All right, man. Have a good night now.
Great night. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap up the show for tonight. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Ain't going to hurt nobody. Ain't going to cost you a damn dime. But you know what? We've got so much more good music coming up in the next couple weeks. We've got Flying Jacob, Once Revealed, Unchained, Words for Hands, Eben Nova, Michael Waski, Pillbox, Foglings, and I've got 3 other bands that I have not announced yet, But we've just got so much good local music coming for you guys, unsigned music. It's going to be just amazing. Next week, we got 2 big national acts coming on Tuesday and Thursday in the rapper Jay Sun. And then on Thursday, the country music star Josh Gallagher from The Voice. And you just got so much good shit going on. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Therefore, you can be notified of all the cool shit that we got going on Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30-ish. So, again, thank you guys very, very much for everything tonight. You guys rocked just as hard as they did. And we will see you back here tomorrow night with the basis for Fishbone. So, until tomorrow at 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. West, peace.